Yes, hello. This is Empire Finance, Empire Crypto TV, all the same. We are talking Bitcoin cryptocurrencies today. And it's been 7 days since the halving, and we've been seeing some very, very shady times in terms of crypto. Downtrend instead, where most investors within the crypto space were expecting a rather uptrend in terms of crypto. On my screen here, you can see it's BTC, Bitcoin. It is the coin that people have been looking out for in these past 7 days, particularly the entire crypto space, but the Bitcoin being the main attention in terms of, because being after the halving. Okay, but instead of seeing a powerful uptrend ascending and coming in and making sure that people are starting to grow within their portfolios, but instead we are seeing a downtrend. So with this show today, I'm here to explain why the sell-off. We're gonna be going through some articles, and we're gonna also be seeing some other point of views, both fundamentally and technically. Okay, so this will be explained. I'll try my best to explain it in the most fundamental and in the most technical way. So I'll be doing both ways, because when you are observing the market, you have to use both methods, fundamental analysis and a technical analysis as well. Right now, Bitcoin is at $64,000, just under $65,000, and the highest that it has went, just to do a quick review. Okay, Bitcoin has went up the highest level this year to $72,000 per coin. And there are people who still have their buy orders around about those levels, and they've seen the currency depreciate up to the level of $59,000, but came back up again to $64,000 per coin. But last week, Friday, there was halving. High expectations about the uptrend that is going to ensue. Hopefully by now we would have seen Bitcoin going up to 70,000 K per coin, but it did not even cross the $66,000 mark. Let us go through a first article that explains it. Why is Bitcoin price down today? Please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to click that like button. And once again, thank you very much for those people who have been very supportive to us. Today we have 3,600 subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. We are trying our best. We are a small channel. We don't have much. We don't have very, very fancy things like other YouTube channels. But we are trying to grow this channel as best way as we can, trying to retrieve information for all crypto investors or financial investors within the financial markets. Why is Bitcoin down? Let's go through this article together. Let us read it. Bitcoin price is down today after renewed conflict in the Middle East. There is a major conflict that is happening with Israel and Palestine. It's a political issue. Now, what this article explains is the fundamental effect that it has on the crypto market and the dollar as well, because it seems like this conflict that has been happening in the Middle East has been favoring the dollar according to most news analysts. Okay, and concerns over the health of China's economy impact investor sentiment. Fundamental stuff. It's all had to do with fundamental analysis. At this point, we're going to look at it in a fundamental sense. Then we're going to go into it technically, but also using a very informative article. So anyone can make assumptions about this whole situation, but I'm not saying this is the truth or this is the source that we should be trusting, but I am merely trying to get to the bottom and trying to explain it to investors on the platform on why BTC why crypto or Bitcoin is on a downtrend in this very, very volatile time. Okay, so Bitcoin has repeatedly failed to breach the 60,000, 67,000 mark in recent days, as I've shown there. leading to an increase in bearish sentiment. So a lot of people get affected by this, even me as a trader. If you are experiencing some sort of a bearish sentiment, people talking about sell-off, people panic. You know, it's a very if I could say, it's a very tricky situation for most investors, even traders. You might want to sell, or you might even want to pull out of the market. Either way, whether you sell off or you pull out the market, the price of Bitcoin goes down, or cryptocurrencies. That sentiment sends a negative sentiment to the crypto space. On April 24th, a $2,000, $250 correction sent BTC price to 64,515 and triggered $30 million in leveraged long liquidations. I could have been one of those people, because there was a lot of confidence going towards the halving event. And I can understand that there's been a leveraged long liquidation there. People have been pumping in those buy orders, but only to see the Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies to come down again. Several factors contributed to this negative performance, including weakness in the corporate earnings, Israeli airstrikes, like I was telling you. Oh man, I think also Iran as well is also involved, just to add on the countries in the Middle East that are sort of involved in this conflict. Iran and Israel, they're sort of like in a battle, or in a war or something, or in a pre-war. And Palestine is also involved. So in that whole situation in the Middle East, it has sort of like favored the power of the dollar to go up in this recent past few days or 2 weeks or so. And an alert issued by a global credit agency regarding China as well. So there are two fundamental elements regarding China and the Middle East. So whatever is happening there, it has a negative impact on the crypto space, or on the Bitcoin on the other hands. So if it continues to escalate, we might see more and more sell-offs. In fact, you might see a panic of people going on a sell-off positions at this point, whereas most people would have expected to see Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies to start going on an uptrend. Weak corporate earnings and escalating tension in the Middle East goes. Market participants have raised concerns about Bitcoin's vulnerability to stock market fluctuations, particularly following the S&P 500 retracement in April. Although the index has partially recovered from its dip below 5,000 points on April 19th. I also saw that, but though I don't trade on these instruments, but I heard about it before. Investors remain wary of potential disappointments in corporate earnings. Even the US Federal Reserve persistently higher interest rates. So high interest rates in the Federal Reserve Bank means that the dollar will get stronger, whereas people thought that interest rates this year there will be interest rates cuts this year, knowing that in 2023 there was a hawkish Federal Reserve Bank that kept on sending interest rates higher and higher, and we all saw what it did to the stock market, also within the crypto space, and also the currencies that are pegged against the dollar, like your euro and your Great British pound. Tesla reported a 21% year-over-year decline in adjusted EBITDA on April 23, attributed to price reduction and decreased sale. So it's not only crypto that is affected, but you can see other financial instruments are also affected by this situation. This is the fundamental element that is affecting the crypto space. But there is also another point of view that I also like to share, is from the Bitcoin thing, what you call this, coin desk. Okay, now this one is more technical, so I'll be also rephrasing back to the chart and referring it to the article. Bitcoin likely to drop after the halving, but now this was projected way before the halving. And when they were projecting it, they were using technical analysis, and they were right. Okay, Bitcoin likely to drop after the halving, JP Morgan says. One thing I want to say about JP Morgan is that there have always been negative on the crypto space, including Jamie Dimon, who is the chairman of the JP Morgan Bank, which is the biggest bank in the United States. And they've been constantly negative towards crypto for a very, very long time, as long as I think 2012 or so. So those people are not people of the crypto. They don't believe in crypto or its use cases and so forth, but they are not people who are on the side of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. But they do emphasize that blockchain does work, but the currencies, cryptocurrencies, they see them as a flop. Okay, the bank's analysis of open interest in Bitcoin futures shows that the cryptocurrency is still considered overbought. I want to emphasize this part. It says it's still considered overbought. I want to go back to my chart. Let me show you what they are talking about when they say it's overbought. I have my RSI indicator here, relative strength index. I will not look into the candlestick action very much. This is a 1 week chart for BTC. I just switched from 1 week to I've just switched from 1 hour to 1 week. Now what they talk about is overbought condition. This is the overbought condition that JP Morgan is speaking about, which is at 78. 69, in fact 69.78 overbought conditions, all right, currently. And here, obviously, it was gone up to 87 overbought conditions. That's when we were experiencing the bull market where it went even to $72,000 just recently. Okay, this is what they talk about. Now, according to the RSI indicator, when the instrument goes 70 and above, it means that the instrument is overbought. In this case, we do have an overbought condition. It went to 87. So remember, 70 and above is overbought. Now you can imagine if it went to 87, which is way overbought. So I can understand JP Morgan saying that the instrument is still overbought. And then obviously, conversely, there's also what you call oversold conditions. Okay, where the market goes way, way down and then it goes oversold, where market conditions go down unexpectedly. But here it was expected that the Bitcoin was gonna boom, but it was overbought. So this is the technical element that JP is talking about, and this is what supports their article as I'm reading it too. Let's go back to it. All right. I'll just jump down and say, okay, JP Morgan said expects Bitcoin to fall after the reward of halving. Okay, so this is what's projected before. Say they sort of like saw it and say after the halving, Bitcoin will come down, and then it did come. This is more of a projection way before the halving. The bank's analysis shows that the cryptocurrency remains overbought, like I've shown you on the chart with the RSI indicator. Miners will be most affected by the event, the report said. Okay, the Bitcoin BTC price is likely to weaken after the reward. Hence, they say a quick triennial event that slows the rate of growth in Bitcoin supply and looks set to occur around 19th to 20th. Today is 26th. Or April and 19th. So they sort of like had it on the nail. Okay, Wall Street giant JP Morgan said in a research report on Wednesday. So they sort of had a huge research analysis. They put out all of this information. And then the bank sees downside for the world's largest cryptocurrency after the halving because the market is still in overbought condition according to its analysis of open interest in Bitcoin futures. Furthermore, the cryptocurrency price of about $61,200 is still above the bank's volatility adjusted comparison with gold, which sets it at $45,000 and its projected production cost of $42,000 after the halving. I don't know much about gold investment, but I do know that gold has been also been performing quite well lately. The Bitcoin production cost has historically acted as a lower boundary for BTC prices. JP Morgan also notes that venture capital funding venture capital funding remains subdued despite the recent crypto market resurgence. Okay, the biggest impact of the halving will be felt by mining companies as unprofitable Bitcoin miners exit the Bitcoin. So this is the sentiment. These are the sentiments that can ring into traders and investors' minds, seeing it as a negative, as a no, as a panic. As unprofitable Bitcoin miners exit the Bitcoin network, we anticipate a significant drop in the hash rate and consolidation among Bitcoin miners, with a highest share for the publicly listed Bitcoin miners. In a list led by Nicholas Pentegola, I can't pronounce that name, please forgive me, but just check it out there. You can say, I don't know what language is that, but I can't pronounce it. Post-halving event, it is also likely that some Bitcoin mining firms may look to diversify into low energy cost regions such as Latin America or Africa to deploy their inefficient mining. Interesting. Rings to gain salvage values from those rings which would otherwise sit idle, the authors wrote. So there is a mixed feeling regarding cryptocurrency. Let's look at the coin market cap. It is also mixed also on the coin market cap. Red and green. You can see red and green. Okay, both sides, red and green. So there is no clear view for now where the market will be going up or down or remaining sideways, more or less the same going forward. So I don't know what can happen in the following few days going forward. Will Bitcoin, will cryptocurrencies go up as expected? Because the halving event is done now and we are going towards 2025. But usually, in the past, we know that after halving, we have seen the boom in 2021, but now we are waiting to see the boom in 2025. Maybe the Bitcoin will start picking up around about in June and going towards December. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that this will be the case, but historically, when I look at the charts, technically speaking, that's always been the case. But looks now people are not so sure in this day and age. Maybe sometimes it has to do with those ETFs, and maybe the control of the market, of the crypto market, is back to the hands of those we were hoping for them to not have that power, like the banks. And remember, big time institutions like BlackRock are also connected to the banks and the major institutions that may control the cryptocurrency space in what way they will. So it's no longer the things are, what I'm saying is things are different from before. It was never always like this. So we might see a different side of cryptocurrency going forward. But let's hope for the best, especially for all those investors. Market cap is still in its 2 trillions, and we are still going stronger and stronger. And please be sure to subscribe. Please do click that like button. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, I hope you find this informative. Another time, thank you very much.